I'm sorry, honey. Can I get you a little bit more juice? I don't want to fight with you.
Of course you do. You love to fight.
I don't fight.
That's all you do. You fight with everybody.
I'm sorry to feel that way, honey. I don't know how this conversation even came about. You were telling me how people called you and how they mentioned certain things to you and how it bothers you.
Can't you say the few Instagrams I won't? I'll just...
Here you go, honey. A little bit of juice, baby. A little bit of juice for you, honey.
Thank you, Libby.
Honey, if it makes you happy, I will remove all of the black people from my Instagram.
You said that before. You said, I understand.
I did remove the people that were independently on my Instagram that are black.
Then why did you start saying that you didn't? You just said you didn't remove them. You didn't remove them.
I didn't remove Matt Kemp and Magic Johnson.
Why?
But I thought Matt Kemp is mixed, and he was okay, just like me.
Okay.
He's lighter and whiter than me.
Okay.
I met his mother.
You think I'm a racist? And
I don't think you're a racist.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I think you...
Evil heart.
I don't think so. I think you have an amazing heart, honey. I think the people around you have poisoned mind and have a way of thinking.
It's the world. You go to Israel, the blacks are just treated like dogs.
So do you have to treat them like that too?
The white Jews, there's white Jews and black Jews. Do you understand?
And are the black Jews less than the white Jews?
100%, 50, 100%.
And is that right?
It is a question. We don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture.
But shouldn't we take a stand for what's wrong and be the change and the difference?
I don't want to change the culture because I can't. It's too big.
But you can change yourself.
I don't want to change it. If my girl can't do what I want, I don't want the girl.
There's no need to get upset. No need to get...
I just see what I'm living with, what I'm dealing with.
I'm sorry, I didn't do anything.
You never do anything and never anything wrong.
But I didn't do anything.
You upset me.
I upset you. You made yourself upset.
No, that's not true. You didn't start off by saying, honey, I understand we're living in a culture. We can't
because I don't see your views. I wasn't raised the way you were raised.
Well, then, if you don't feel, don't come to my games. Don't bring black people and don't come.
Do you know that you have a whole team that's black that plays for you?
Do I don't? I support them and give them food and clothes and cars and houses. Who gives it to them? Does someone else give it to them? Do I know that I have? Who makes the game? Do I make the game or do they make the game? Is there 30 owners that created the league?
I'm not going to bring any black people to the stadium.
Well, is it easy to say that?
It's very easy for you to say that.
For you to say that?
I won't say that to anyone. I would never ask anyone not to bring someone based on race or color.
Okay.
Or culture.
Okay.
It's like saying, let's just persecute and kill all of the Jews.
Oh, it's the same thing, right?
Well, isn't it wrong? Wasn't it wrong then with the Holocaust? And you're Jewish. You understand discrimination?
You're really a mental case. The Holocaust we're comparing with
racism, discrimination.
There's no racism here. If you don't want to be walking into a basketball game with a certain person, is that racism?
Yes, that's racism. You can click here where he makes it crystal clear that it's racism. Did you notice a media trend to not call attention to his justification for racism? Philip Weiss points out that NBA owner Sterling reportedly sought to justify his racism by citing Israeli racism. I don't see much focus on that. I don't see much focus on what he says is the very reason he's upset, that his friends are calling him about black people in pictures. Who are these friends and what is this culture that's so extreme to find it offensive for his quote-unquote girl to post pictures of herself with black people on Instagram? And there's a pattern of suppression of Jewish racism as Max Blumenthal reveals here.
One actually declared white power and they kind of played off of each other. And they were being cheered on by others around them. And that video, came out on YouTube, and within a few hours it had 500,000 views. And then the next thing I knew, it disappeared from YouTube, and it had disappeared from Vimeo, and the Huffington Post had banned it. It was being pilloried by the entire world Jewish media, and at least the English-speaking Jewish media, from Haaretz to the Jerusalem Post, to commentators in the U.S., the Jewish Telegraphic Agency telling me to grow up. And I thought it was really serious what I showed there, and that it should have been taken as a warning and a challenge that something was happening inside Israel and it was impacting Jewish American life. And the challenge wasn't answered, it was simply suppressed.
And look at this dishonest attack by M.J. Rosenberg in Tikkun Daily, where he claims Mondo Weiss blames the Jews. Rosenberg dishonestly argues that to report on any Jewish racism is to blame all Jews. That's a way to intimidate people into never reporting on any instances of Jewish racism. Rosenberg claimed that Weiss headlined the fact that Sterling is Jewish. But as Annie points out, Weiss didn't headline it, he mentioned it. Haaretz headlined it. In fact, AP and Reuters stories reported in the Israeli press featured headlines that Sterling is Jewish. Israeli papers like Haaretz, the Jerusalem Post, and the Times of Israel reported in their headlines that Sterling is Jewish. But Rosenberg plays the game used in America to intimidate people. It looks like someone realized Rosenberg crossed the line because his blog entry has been removed. I had found it in Google's cache of it. Please share this video with everyone you can to let them know what an ugly situation this really is and what's getting underreported or not reported at all. And like I said, see the video on the second channel. Click here for another video about more details. If you are outraged at mainstream media manipulation, please use the tools below to share this video with everyone you can.